Hey guys, I'm Jessie, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the April 2022 fantasy releases that I am super excited for. There are quite a few books coming out in April that I cannot wait to get my hands on, and I'm just super excited to talk to you about them today. I have a more extensive list of April 2022 fantasy releases that are on my blog right now. I will leave that down below in case you want to go check that out, see some more books that maybe I didn't talk about in this video, so you can go and kind of look and see if there's anything that looks exciting to you. But these are all the books that look like super exciting to me. Some of them I know I'm getting in either book boxes or I've already pre-ordered, so I will definitely be getting to quite a few of them as soon as I get my hands on them. As always, I will be using my handy dandy phone and my Goodreads to read you guys the synopsis, give you a little bit of my thoughts on them, and then give you like the release dates. I will leave links to all of the books that I mentioned as well in the comments down below, so you can make sure to click right through and pick those up and pre-order them if you want to. Alright, so the first book that comes out in April that I am so excited for is Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. And while I am not thrilled by this cover by any means, I am still super excited for the contents of this book. This is the sequel to Black Sun, which is the first book in the Between Earth and Sky series. I'm pretty sure originally this was supposed to be a duology, but from what I have heard, this is now going to be a trilogy, if not more, because I know my friend Bethany has read the arc of this book, which I'm not super jealous about. Not at all. Not at all. And she said that there feels like there will definitely be a book 3. So, not a duology like we originally thought. I will probably not be reading you the synopsis of this one in particular because I feel like if I do, it's a sequel and it will spoil book 1. And I definitely don't want to do that. If you have not read Black Sun, go get it now. Read it before book 2 comes out because it is fantastic. It is such a good series. In the first one, we are following this kind of trio of characters that are all, they're not together. They're all over the place. One of them is the quote-unquote chosen one, and he was blinded at a very young age by his mother, and he is supposed to free his people. And then we are following another girl who may or may not be a mermaid, part siren, something along those lines, and she is a sailor. She ends up taking this chosen one on his quest to the main city in order to save his people. And then we are also following another girl who is in the big religious sect of this main city, and she kind of is raised really poor and has really climbed up the ranks, and people don't like that too much. And she kind of gets involved in some real political machinations going on kind of in over her head, and this book is just so good. It is a pre-Columbian inspired fantasy, which is a lot of fun. It's just such a good series, and I cannot wait for this book to come out. And in case you are wondering, the release date for this is April 19th. Another kind of sequel is the Skyward Flight. This is the 3 Skyward novellas coming out as a bind up, and this is coming out on April 5th. I know the novellas are already out, but I have been personally waiting for this bind up so I can get them all together and just read them that way, because that's just how I like to have them. So once this comes out on April 5th, then I can read the first 2, read Cytonic finally, and then read the third one, because I believe you're supposed to read the first 2 novellas, then Cytonic, then the other novella. So very excited for this to come out. These all, I believe, follow other side characters or characters we don't really know yet and kind of expand upon the world. I've heard really good things about these novellas and how they really open up this world that Skyward is in. So I'm very excited to finally get to them and get them in this really cool bind up. So what's better? Another really exciting sequel that is coming out in April is Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. And this is the sequel to Shadow of the Gods that I absolutely loved when I read last year. And I am so excited for this book because of what happened at the end of Shadow of the Gods. I'm like, I need more. And plus this cover is so cool. This comes out on April 14th. And again, I'm not going to read you the synopsis because this is a sequel that would spoil the first one if I read you the synopsis, because obviously you'd see what happens in the first book. But in the first book, we are following a couple of different characters. My personal favorite is Orca. She is a mom, and she's just kind of doing her thing. It's her husband, her son, and they are just kind of living their lives, doing their thing. They don't want anything to do with anything until her husband is killed and her son is kidnapped, and she has to go save her little boy and kind of avenge the death of her husband. So she goes on this quest, and you find out a lot about her that you did not know. And most people in the series didn't know either. They're all like, what? And then at the end, there's this like big reveal about her, and you're like, okay, I can see that. And it's really cool because there's a lot of like magic in this world, but like magic is kind of looked down upon and suppressed. And people that are magic users, again, are very, like, looked down upon. They are usually killed off. And it's just such a good series. And I love it. And I cannot wait for this book. All right, moving on from sequels. Now we have a new, I think this is a standalone. And I'm very excited for it. I haven't heard very many people talk about it. But I heard, I think, one person talk about this, and it was at This Story Ain't Over. And ever since I heard her talk about this, I was like, I need to pick this up because this sounds so cool. And that is Kayaker. And this book just sounds like right up my alley. And I'm going to read you the synopsis right now and see what you think. So begins Kayaker's story. The only daughter of the kingdom of Kayaker, she is raised on tales about the might and benevolence of the gods, how they churned the vast ocean to obtain the nectar of immortality, how they vanquish evil and ensure the land of Bharat prospers, and how they offer powerful boons to the devout and wise. Yet she watches as her father unceremoniously banishes her mother, listens as her own worth is reduced to how great a marriage alliance she can secure. And when she calls upon the gods for help, they never seem to hear. Desperate for some measure of independence, she turns to the text she once read with her mother and discovers a magic that is hers alone. With this power, Kayaker transforms herself from an overlooked princess into a warrior, diplomat, and most favored queen, determined to carve a better world for herself and the women around her. But as the evil of her childhood stories threatens the cosmic order, the path she has forged clashes with the destiny the gods have chosen for her and her family. And Kayaker must decide if resistance is worth the destruction it will wreak, and what legacy she intends to leave behind. This is a stunning debut from a powerful new voice, a tale of fate, family, courage, and heartbreak. Of an extraordinary woman determined to leave her mark on the world where gods and men dictate the shape of things to come. Okay. That just sounds so good. And I'm pretty sure it's a standalone, which I absolutely love. We need more fantasy standalones. I'm all for a badass female protagonist. Like, I love it so much, especially when you are like trying to like defy the gods and defy, societal norms. And I just am so drawn to this. Plus the cover's really pretty. So I'm excited for this to come out. And this does come out on the 26th of April. The next one that we have coming out on the 5th of April is In a Garden Burning Gold. And please check out this cover. Just give it a second to sit in. Is it not gorgeous? Like, I love the colors. I think this is beautiful. And I do believe this is the first book in a series, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a like trilogy or duology. It just says book number 1. So we're going with it. And this book, again, it sounds really fun. So I'm going to read you the synopsis. It says, Rhea and her twin brother Lexos have spent an eternity helping their father rule their small, unstable country, using their control over the seasons, tides, and stars to keep people in line. For 100 years, they've been each other's only ally, defending each other and their younger siblings against their father's increasingly unpredictable anger. Now, with an independence movement gaining ground and their father's rule weakening, the twins must take matters into their own hands to keep their family and the entire world from crashing down around them. But other nations are jockeying for power, ready to cross and double-cross. And if Rhea and Lexos aren't careful, they'll end up facing each other on the battlefield. Do I need to say any more? Does that not sound really cool? Like, I love the idea of, like, twins and, like, twin magic. So I'm really hoping this, like, really leans in hard to the fact that they are twins. And then that little comment at the end that they may have to face each other on the battlefield. I love it. It feels like family to enemies, and I'm here for it. Like, especially when it's like your twin, and like, I think this is going to be really, really good. And the last one that I'm really excited for that comes out on April 5th is Hotel Magnifique. And this one sounds really cool. Honestly, the synopsis got me on this book, and you will see why in just a second, because it is compared to one of my favorite books of all time. And like, literally, if you compare anything to this book, I'm probably going to pick it up and try it, because, I mean, you can't just throw that comparison around all willy-nilly. Like, it has to mean something, right? It says, this is for fans of Caraval and the Night Circus, which y'all know is one of my favorite books ever. This decadent and darkly enchanting fantasy set against the backdrop of a Belle Epoque-inspired hotel follows 17-year-old Janny as she uncovers a deeply disturbing secrets at the legendary Hotel Magnifique. All her life, Janny has dreamed of elsewhere, just barely scraping by with her job as a tanner. She's resigned to a dreary life in the port town of Dirk, caring for her younger sister, Zosa. That is, until the Hotel Magnifique comes to town. The hotel is legendary not only for its whimsical enchantments, but also its ability to travel. Appearing in a different destination every morning, while Janny and Zosa can't afford the cost of a guest stay, they can interview to join the staff and are soon whisked away on the greatest adventure of their lives. But once Janny quickly discovers their contracts are unbreakable and that beneath the marvelous glamour, the hotel is hiding dangerous secrets. While the vexingly handsome doorman, Belle, as her only ally, Janny embarks on a mission to unravel the mystery of the magic at the heart of the hotel and free Zosa and the other staff from the cruelty of the ruthless maitre d' To succeed, she'll have to risk everything she loves, but failure would mean a far worse fate than never returning home. Yeah, that definitely sounds very Night Circus-esque with like the traveling aspect where it just kind of pops up somewhere different every day. I think that's kind of where they're getting like the Night Circus reference from. And if this is anything like the Night Circus, like I'm here for it. I love the Night Circus. So really anything that you compare to the Night Circus, I'm going to pick up and read. I have not yet read Caraval, which is the other comp to this book, but I do have it and I do plan to get to it because I've also heard that compared to the Night Circus. So anything circusy, I'm down for. And while this is not circusy per se, it's compared to the Night Circus, and I can see why in that synopsis. So I'm very excited. I think this is coming in a book box that I'm getting, but I'm not 100% sure because like I just kind of look at like the like little non-spoiler little things about the books and just kind of try to guess. So I'm thinking this is in one, but I'm not 100% sure. But I hope it is, because if not, I'm just going to order it because it sounds really cool. All right, those are all the books that I'm personally super excited for that come out in the month of April. And like I said, if you want to see more books that are coming out this month, you can look at my blog post. I've got like a bigger list there of just more books that are coming out, but these are the ones that I was the most excited about, that I have pre-ordered and, you know, I'm just like personally waiting to get my hands on. So I wanted to talk about them. So let me know which books that you're excited for that are coming out in the month of April. If you're excited for any of these, if there's other ones that you're like, you need to know about this book because it sounds right up your alley, like let me know. Because you know I have a purchasing problem and I am always buying new books and trying new things. So let me know which ones are you excited for. All right, well, my name is Jessie and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.